Hello, everyone. This is Lotus. It is a wonderful, quiet, well, it would be quiet if my neighbors weren't so loud, evening, and I'm recording this voiceover to the speed build I did for a nightclub venue in The Sims 4. There is a group of DJs out of South Africa called Major League DJs. From what I understand, they are twin brothers who were born in the United States and raised in South Africa. And they are DJs now. I've been binging on their videos for the past week or two because they do a wonderful mix of deep house music, with drums in the background, and I really like the vibe of the music that they mix, and I just enjoy watching the videos of them. And usually it looks like them and their friends just vibing at some pool or at some venue, and they call their videos the balcony sessions because in a number of their videos, I guess it's because they are DJing from a balcony. I mean, it would make sense. That's why they would name it the balcony sessions. So I was watching one of their videos and I saw a venue. It was an indoor venue that looked something like this venue that I'm building here. And I said, it would be really cool to have something like that in The Sims 4, a nightclub for my Sims to go to. So I just sat down and over the course of, I think, an hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours tops, came up with this venue, and I really like it. I would have decorated it a lot more if I was making it just for myself. And when I use it for my own gameplay, I probably will put a lot more decorations in it, because I have a lot of custom content that I would use for decorations, various wall hangings and pillows and things of that sort, that we don't have in the base game or in any of the packs. But since I wanted to be able to upload this to the gallery, I didn't put any custom content. I did use a number of packs, even though I built this venue in the Mount Komorebi world. I used a number of different packs, so I'm sorry to anyone who doesn't have the different packs. Hopefully you'll be able to find replacements for the various things, or at some point I may do a base game version. Now that may be a little bit difficult because, as you can see in the beginning, I did put the building, well, no, actually it won't be difficult. I was going to say it would be difficult because I did put the building on a platform, but I just remembered platforms are a base game feature, so that won't be an issue. Having a DJ booth will be an issue. That comes with the Get Together pack. And the windows I used, I believe, are from the Snowy Escape pack. The dance floor is also from the Get Together pack. So I might not be able to do a base game version of this. But anyway, I had a lot of fun putting it together, and it was exactly the kind of thing that I needed to do to get out of my head for a while. Those of you who know me personally know that I've been going through a pretty big personal struggle. My mom has stage 4 breast cancer, and so my family and I are dealing with that, and of course that takes up a lot of my emotional and mental energy right now. So I needed a day when I was able to get out of my head and focus on something other than that. So for those couple of hours while I was working on this build, that's exactly what this was for me. I think my neighbors are having a party. Oh my God. Apartment living in New York City can be a trial and a tribulation. And in this particular building, I don't know what it is about the apartment next to us, but in the 8 years or so that we've been here, We have had three different sets of neighbors, and none of them have been quiet in that apartment. I don't know where the owner of that apartment finds their tenants from, but it seems like they find some of the loudest, most obnoxious people to rent. So I apologize in advance for any background noise you might hear. It's definitely from them and not from us in our apartment. We believe in respecting the rights of our neighbors to quietness, especially since it is almost 11 p.m. and there is absolutely no reason at 11 p.m. for people to be that loud. So, anyhow, so yes. Where was I? I've been going through personal stuff, and doing this build was a great way for me to get out of my head and get away from ruminating on the issues that I've been dealing with. I had a lot of fun with this because I wanted to make the building itself very monochromatic. So the walls, the floors, are all like a very light gray, or like the walls on the inside are white, though towards the end I did put an accent wall. I don't quite remember the color. When we get to that part of the video, then we'll see what color I chose. But I did put a brightly colored accent wall along the back of the balcony, but I wanted the building itself to be pretty monochromatic, and then the decorations I wanted to make colorful. So the color scheme I mainly went with for the furnishings and the decorations were purple slash fuchsia and black. And then, as you can see, the walls, the building was made to look like a concrete structure. I was originally going to make it more open air, but then I wanted it to look plainer on the outside, but then be kind of upscale on the inside. And in a world like Mount Kobarebi, for instance, where you do get, if you have the seasons pack, Mount Kobarebi, I know they get snow up on the mountain part where people ski, but if you have the seasons pack for your game, you are going to get things like rain and snow and wind and all of that stuff. And I have seasons, and I wouldn't want my Sims trying to party in a place that was pretty much open air, that had nasty weather, and they weren't able to enjoy themselves because the electronics were getting destroyed by rain. So I did end up closing the building off so that regardless of the weather, they can be inside and they can use this venue for partying and dancing. Now, this build actually brought up something very interesting that I hadn't thought of with regards to the limits of The Sims 4. And we're going to see me struggle with this a little bit towards the last couple of minutes of this video. So, of course, I have the DJ booth up on the balcony, but I have the dance floor downstairs. The bar is under the DJ booth. That's the setup that I wanted. It's the setup that I saw in one of the Major League DJ's balcony sessions videos. So I wanted to recreate that in this build. The problem is the game felt like the DJ booth was too far away from the dance floor for whatever the DJ was playing to affect what was going on in the dance floor. So if I had a sim go in and I clicked on the dance floor, dance was grayed out. So the Sims would not dance on the dance floor. Instead, everybody was upstairs in the balcony, crowded around the DJ booth, and they were dancing upstairs in the balcony. Well, what's the point of having this huge dance floor downstairs if everybody is going to crowd around the DJ booth and dance up there? And what I ended up having to do was putting a venue wall speaker back behind the bar. And I guess since at that point, the music was on the same floor as the dance floor, then the game was like, oh, okay, yeah, you actually have music there close by. Now you can select the dance floor and dance as an option. I mean, it's really, really weird. I don't understand sometimes the way the game works, but it is what it is. I figured out how to make it work. It took me a minute, but I was able to figure that out. Okay, so you can see that the wall, the accent wall that I put in the balcony, is fuchsia to match the color scheme of the venue. And I also added a back door, and there's a little, it's like a little service entrance. It's not a patio. I did end up putting a patio along the side, and you'll see that later. There's a little balcony upstairs, and then out the back door, it's just a service entrance, and that's where their dumpster is. And ideally, you would be able to lock that door so that only employees could come in and out. But when I play tested it, I wasn't able to figure out how to do that. So if anyone does figure out how to make it so that only employees can come in and out of the back door, then let me know I can do that for venues that I own. So like if I own a vet clinic, for example, if my sim owns a vet clinic, then I can have certain parts of the build where I lock the doors for only employees. But I guess if it's just a general community venue, that's not possible, unfortunately. But it's The Sims. We do what we can within the limitations of the game, and that's one of the limitations of the game. So at this point, I had finalized what the footprint of the building would be, had pretty much finished furnishing the inside, and I realized it could go on a much smaller lot. So I moved this to a 20 by 15 lot, and there's still a lot of space on the lot. Say if you want to do a lot of landscaping, you can do that. But like I said, I wanted this to be very much a concrete build on the outside, so I didn't do any landscaping. I just wanted there to be a concrete building on a concrete lot, and then you go inside and you have this nice upscale lounge slash bar slash nightclub area. I did make the patio all off to the side a little bit more private by putting that privacy hedge there just on the sides. The front you're still able to see, and I believe I got rid of the patio on the other side. I had one, I didn't need it. And here I just added a computer. Nobody can actually use the computer. None of the Sims can actually use the computer. But you know how sometimes when you're playing on a lot and you need to change something and you need a computer to change it? Well, that's what that computer is for. So it's not meant to be played. It's for those of us who use MC Command Center and need a computer in order to change something about the world in the process of our gameplay. So here's where I was play testing the build, and this is one of my Sims. I just sent her here to make sure everything works. As you can see, the back door works, and Paka Uha just took himself out the back door, even though he's not an employee. But you can see my Sim using the restroom, so the restroom is usable. And here is where I discovered that you can't really dance on the dance floor. Everybody is dancing in the balcony, and I'm assuming it's because the DJ booth was on a separate floor. Once I put this venue speaker on the first floor with the dance floor, then dance was available as an option. So even though there were still Sims upstairs crowded around the DJ booth and glitching through the fence and dancing either on the edge of the balcony or in thin air, there are Sims now dancing on the dance floor. I hadn't realized that was an issue, and this is why it's a good idea for me to play test my builds, because otherwise, I upload stuff to the gallery and it doesn't work, and that is very embarrassing. Actually, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. I've uploaded stuff to the gallery that I realized later was not playable, and then I just took it out the gallery, fixed it, play tested it to make sure it was right, and then uploaded it. It's more annoying than anything else. It's no big deal at all. Well, so now I have the build so that it is mostly the way I want it. Like I said, I had wanted to be able to rope things off. I would like for the upstairs to be accessible only to the DJs, but haven't figured out how to do that. If you figure it out, definitely let me know in the comments. I will put the link to one of Major League DJ's videos down in the description box so you can see for yourself. You can download this build from the gallery, and it is called ML Balcony Sessions. I hope you have enjoyed this speed build, and I hope you have fun playing with this build. I will see you in the next one. Bye now.